LeBron was cast in Trainwreck because he was one of the only players and sports figures that Amy Schumer, who was writing it, had ever heard of. Is that true?
I think when you write a movie and you have a joke such as, Bill Hader is someone who does operations on people's knees. He's a knee specialist. And his friend, we want his best friend to be a giant athlete, like the most successful athlete you could think of. So Amy in writing would just write, well, who's the most famous, successful person? So in your script, you always write that name. And then at the end of the day, you get, Glenn Gondrezick. Guys, can I do an old reference?
By the way, that's a golf clap for Judd Apatow.
You didn't think I'd pull out something like that from the 70s?
Wow.
Anyway, yes. So you don't get the person that you intended to get.
Yes, correct.
And so Bill said, well, he hosted Saturday Night Live, and he's a great guy, and he's really funny. Maybe he would do it. And then Bill and I went out to lunch with him after watching him in a game the night before. And the thing I always remember about the lunch, first of all, he got the joke instantly, and he was hysterical. Like, it's funny because he's really funny, and he understood the nuance of what that was. But he's eating at the restaurant, and all the different Lakers keep walking over. No, it was pre-Lakers.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was before that. All his teammates keep walking over, and they're all exhausted from the night before. Like, they look annihilated at noon the next day. Like, they looked like they'd been through something terrible, all of them, and they're all like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm okay. How you doing?" And people don't realize what it takes out of them.
Yes.
Am I right about this?
Well, it could also been if it was in Miami, it could have been a late night the night before.
It did not have that sense. It looked like true exhaustion. And I was like, in my job, I'm never that tired. I'm not recovering like that. So I was impressed at the work ethic.
So it could be that line from Airplane, Kareem. You tell your dad to drag Walton into Lanier up the court.
Exactly.
Drag Walton and Lanier's ass up and down the court.
I put LeBron right up there with Kareem and Airplane in terms of solid comedy performance.
But he got the idea, and he was great, and he was tremendous in that.
Yeah.
Movie. So was John Cena. He was hilarious in that movie.
John Cena was so funny, and also John Cena. And I can't say I was following wrestling at the time.
Yes.
So because I was more of a Bruno Sammartino guy.
Nice. That's the Glenn Gondrezick of wrestling.
Well, he was more successful than that.
That's true.
Right?
Yes.
But Cena came in, and someone just showed me a tape like, hey, maybe a wrestler could play this part, because we just wanted her to have a very muscular boyfriend. And I'm like, that guy's hilarious. And they were like, yeah, he's like the champion. I'm like, oh, I literally didn't know who he was, which is. It says bad things about me. I should be following wrestling more closely. And the nicest, funniest guy, just so game to go for it, came in with tons of ideas. And he does a funny cameo in the bubble.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.